Hi, it's Leontine from Little Lovely Crafts. In today's tutorial I will show you this little reveal wheel love story I made between a princess and a knight, and it takes place in the new Fawn castle. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not in love with my background. If I were to make this card again I would do it differently, but since the reveal wheel in the castle worked out pretty well, I wanted to share this video with you anyway. I started with die cutting my castle parts from some Dolphin cardstock. For the little banners I used raspberry cardstock from Fawn. I'm using pumice stone on my brick stencil, and I used hickory smoke distress oxide ink on some of the panels that I wanted to have. I like darker gray, that way it would be a little bit of a contrast on my castle. I'm using some hickory smoke ink on my Dolphin cardstock and I will let it dry, and then I will die cut these little items out of it. In this order it's just much easier than trying to use the distress oxide ink on those teeny tiny little parts. And now for the castle, I will use some painter's tape on the back of my castle parts and then tape my stencil on top of it. That way it should stay in place. Instead of using the usual doorknobs, I decided to use those little stars that came out of the banner. I'm using my Copic sketch marker R20 on some white cardstock, and I will place my banner on top of it. Since my door will be opening and closing, I want a solid background color. I'm using hickory smoke again, and I will use my makeup brush and my finger and a small painter's brush for it. The paintbrush was really helpful to get in all of the small corners of my door. To finish off my castle, I'm using some glossy accents inside of those star cutouts. And now onto the reveal wheel part of my card. I am using the little stencil to indicate where I should stamp my princess and knight. Sometimes I stamped a little on my stencil, but before it could do any damage, I quickly wiped it off with my finger or with my stamp chamois. You will also see that sometimes my stamp doesn't entirely touch the paper because the stencil is in the way, but that is easily fixed with my Copic fine liner. On my third window, I wanted it to look like the knight is going to hug the princess, so he couldn't have a sword in his arms anymore. So in order for it to look like he had lowered it or put it away, I just wiped off that part of the stamp. I should have stamped them a little higher because, as you can see, they are a little lower than the other two images, but in the end they just look really cute together. I'm coloring them with my Copic markers, and I'm leaving on the stencil because I want to know at what point I can stop my coloring. And it's also because I want to make a background for them, and I want it to be in the shape of the window, so the stencil really helps with that. I'm die cutting all of the basic reveal wheel parts out of some white cardstock, and I'm die cutting the largest part twice because I want to use it for the hill as well. I want my castle to be up on a hill, so I am measuring how high it should be, and I'm die cutting that as well. And once everything is die cut, I'm using Distress Oxide inks to color everything. I'm using Tumbled Glass and Salty Ocean for the sky. I'm putting some water drops mixed with liquid Stardust on it and picking up the water with some paper towel. For the grass, I'm using Twisted Citron and Mowed Lawn. And I also used some water drops with liquid Stardust mixed in them as well. And this is the part I should have skipped. I didn't like how dark the stars of my Starry Sky Stencil looked in the end. I'm stamping Have a Magical Day with some Memento Tuxedo Black ink directly onto my panel. And once my sentiment is stamped, I can just glue everything onto my front panel. I'm using my outside-in stitched rectangle stackables on some Spiffy Speckles paper. I'm leaving on my stencil to figure out where I should attach my mechanism, and once it's attached I can open my brad and just take off the stencil again and then put everything back together. Something I learned later on is that my brad was kind of sticking out in the window, so maybe if your brad is too long, just fold in the ends or make sure it's in a different angle so it doesn't show up in your reveal wheel window. I'm using foam squares to lift up my front panel so the recipient can turn the wheel a lot more easily. Here you see me struggling with that brad to get them to stay behind the panel instead of in front of the window. I used some salty ocean to make a blue arrow that matches the stars in my background, and the reason I wanted an arrow there is because the reveal wheel should be turned in a specific order so that the knight comes to the princess. And now for the extra surprise, I wanted to stamp the little frog and place him behind the doors. All I've got left to do is attach my front panel to a white card base and then my card is finished. Even though I'm not in love with my background, I really like how the reveal wheel part of my card turned out. It's super romantic and I hope you feel inspired by it to make something like this yourself. If you liked it, give my video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell button to get notified when my new video is up. I hope you have a wonderful day and that I will see you next time. Bye!